Good afternoon and welcome to today's baseball game. Your Foxborough Warriors will take it on your Taunton Tigers. I'm Jeff Downs along with Dave Fisher, and we're happy to kind of bring you this game. Beautiful day here at Foxborough High School, playing on our brand new fields and just coming off an opening ceremony and honoring Eddie Guy with the Flagpole Memorial. And we're ready to play some baseball, Dave.
So first up is number 5, DJ Kulas from Taunton.
On the mound we get Darren Kelly and Jesse Galante behind the dish. Darren's coming off a couple impressive starts. I believe he threw against the Ashland game, in which they needed to get into the playoffs. Unfortunately, kind of lost that one in extra innings, which has kind of been the story of this team all year long. Breakdowns here and there and kind of got themselves out of it. Nice play by Colin Thoner there at third base, Dave.
Yep.
Kind of stayed back in that little short hop, stayed on it, stayed with the play. Beautiful throw, nice play. And we got one out here. Good start for Darren. You can see he seems to be right on that strike zone.
Coming up to bat for Taunton here is number 2, Zach McLean. He's their second baseman.
When Darren's most effective is he's got a good motion coming through, falls through well, ball stays low, and if he's pounding the strike zone,
nice grab.
He's very effective. The ball stays down. And 2 nice plays over there from Colin Thoner. I like to see Darren. The ball's low and looks like he's trying to bust in a little bit.
Quick walk around the infield here. We have Doug Fisher on first base. On second base, we have John Cronin. On playing shortstop over there is Ethan Butt. And Colin Thoner at third base.
Solid defensive squad. I think that's pretty much been the mainstay. Nicky Wright out in center field does a nice job kind of controlling things.
The last 2 guys out in the outfield are A.J. Bubensic in left field. And over in right, we have Justin Garcia.
2 balls, no strikes.
It's number 19, Luke Fagiria. He's their pitcher tonight.
You see Darren slows things down here a little bit, trying to stay in control, control the flow. Those 2 pitches, he seemed to be kind of rushing a little bit. And he pounds a strike zone there. Again, he's working that inside corner of the plate. Seems to be a place he wants to live. Going down in the count, obviously, you just want to throw strikes here, but he does have a number 3 hitter. And I don't have the stats on Luke, but I assume Taunton's record and where they stand the Kelly Rex, he's probably fairly good up there. Just checking to see if we got any stats on Taunton. Nope. Yep. And again, he pounds that strike inside. Good inning, solid inning for Darren. Again, working that ball low, throwing strikes. Extremely efficient outside that third batter, but he fought back. And you can kind of see, as we talked about, trying to slow things down a little bit. He really worked things kind of through. And once he does that, he really kind of, no, I can't. No, we can see fine. You're good. He's talking to our athletic director and trainer. So Taunton comes into the game. I believe they're either in first and second place in the Kelly Rex.
Yep, they're in second place.
With a record, a fairly good record of 15 and, yeah, we got it right here. They're setting overall 12-7, 9-5, second place behind Mansfield, which I tell you tells us a lot about this team because the Kelly Rex is an extremely strong division over there. Taunton's usually known for a very good baseball program up and through. You know, I think we've seen that over the years with their youth programs and their freshman and sophomore programs. So sophomore and freshman and JV programs. So and usually they're fairly competitive up at the varsity level. Foxborough's coming in, Dave, at I believe they're 3 in overall. Yeah, 3-15. And you know, in all honesty and fairness to the boys, the record is not indicative of how they play. played this year, and I think if you go back and look at the close games, Ames second inning, they could be fairly pushing up to something more around a 500 record. You know, in talking to Dave and talking with Coach Sully today, he was just talking about consistency, getting the good pitches, consistency of timely hitting, and consistency of defense. And he just feels that once this team kind of figures it out, Dave, that they're really going to be strong and really kind of work things through. And you got to remember, this is a fairly young team. We've got Dougie and JJ is I believe the only seniors, so they're fairly young. They've got a lot of talent coming back, especially with pitching.
Yep. And they've really been really consistent the last few games where, at the beginning of the season they were trying to figure out all the different facets of the game.
Yep.
But these last games, they've been in just about every single one of them.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I've had a chance to catch the Ashland game last Friday, and I was impressed. I was impressed about the Ways boys, the composure of the team and how they were playing. And, it's indicative of the sport itself and how tough the sport is. So, it'll be good to kind of see how the boys come in. They've got 2 games left. Obviously, playoffs are out of contention due to the Sullivan rule, but they lost the Ashland game, so they won't be doing much in the playoff. They'll be running out their season on Friday, right, Dave?
Yep. Last game is Friday.
Yeah. So leading off here, let's do the battery here. Why don't we go through the defensive sets for Taunton?
For Taunton, so on the mound here is number 19, Luke Fagiria. He's the pitcher. He'll be throwing to number 9, Max Bowden, the catcher. As we work around the bases around here, first base is Dylan Palucci. Second base is Zach McLean. Shortstop is Jared George. And third base is Brendan Merizzoli. Out in right field, we got Billy Emerson. Center field is DJ Koulis. And left field is Sam Moore.
So leading off for Foxborough, we get number 19, Nikki Wright. Familiar position for Nikki. Does a nice job in the leadoff position. Really sees the strike zone very, very well, as you can kind of see. And if he lets the umpire know that he doesn't think it was a strike, he's usually got a pretty good view of that.
Yep, Nick's a junior for Foxborough, so he'll be returning next year.
Yep. I think Nicky may be down 1 and 2 here, so he's got to kind of shorten up, protect things a little bit. Be good to see if Foxborough can get something going early and play off that good defensive stand they did in the first half of the inning. Nicky kind of flies one out to center field. Pretty straightaway hit. Nicky had to come up on that one a little bit. And, in danger of being down the strikes, and he has to protect a little bit. And not much he could have really done with that pitch.
Next up to bat is Darren Kelly, our starting pitcher today.
Hey, lift there, come on now.
Darren's also a junior today. He pitches, and when he's not pitching, he's plays second base.
And Darren is one of those kids that, I knew he was going to see some innings, but, based on some injuries and Connor Downs going down injured this year, has really kind of stepped up to kind of give him some solid innings, which still need that for next year as well. If you think about their young pitching staff that really was kind of forced into starting roles, and really, the critical thing is just making sure they're getting innings and giving the innings and keeping them in a situation where they're in ball games. And like I said, when Darren is throwing strikes and he's living low, he's extremely dangerous. Better grab that. Looks like we got 2 and 2.
Got you, boys.
The Taunton pitcher, I don't remember his name, but he seems to be doing a nice job kind of living on those corners.
It's Luke Fagiria.
Luke Fagiria, yeah. You can just see those first 2 kind of in, and then he kind of stretched it out a little bit and pounded that outside corner. We've got Dougie Fisher up here.
Nice fastball there on the outside
Yeah.
of the plate.
Boys are just going to have to make some adjustments because I think we've got a little bit of a liberal zone up and down, in and out. No, just as I say that,
Yeah.
kind of we'll kind of take that. Of course, we got the best view in the house. You can see again, he kind of worked a couple off-speed pitches in early, and now has just been trying to pound that outside part of the plate on Dougie, and and a right thing to do. Dougie's been very hot with the bat. I have to tell you, the middle. I think the middle part of this lineup has been somewhat fairly consistent in getting their bats on the ball and just kind of looking at some of the stats and kind of what's going on. But that's important. What's important though is we get some of those leadoff guys in front of them. And Dougie, I think, is leading the team in hitting, and I think right behind him is Connor. So what's important is setting the stage for these guys.
Yeah, up to bat now is Connor Downs. Connor's DHing tonight.
Which has been Connor's pretty much role coming off his injury. He's been pretty much limited to not doing much throwing and this year, which has been a little unfortunate, obviously, for many reasons. But he stepped into that DH role, and
Yep, definitely missed his pitching this season,
Connor's now sitting. Looks like he's down 1 ball, 2 strikes. A couple tough pitches there for him.
Oh, and there's that outside cornerback.
Yeah. And like I said, you got to recognize certain things, and the liberal zone there a little bit up and down, and if an umpire's going to call that, he's going to call it all game. So you got to recognize that, understand it, and make adjustments. The one thing you can ask is that things come up, is that an umpire is consistent in that call, and you like to see it in both sides and how it kind of rolls itself out. So, and then the boys just need to make adjustments. So. So Foxborough's got the game today, and Dave, and they finish up on Friday with.
I think it's a home game on Friday.
Yeah.
And we'll look up the schedule here. Against Canton.
So they'll finish up against another Davenport. Afraid what was this tent? They'll finish up against another Davenport opponent. Canton's always a good game. 2 fairly similar programs, size-wise, and in division. Well, I guess in Davenport, I think Division Canton has now moved up to Division 2, and Foxborough is sitting in Division 3, which is kind of one of the reasons why they have the luxury of playing by the Sullivan rule and how they can get into and get through playoffs without just having to have the 500 record. But it always makes out for a good game.
Up to bat here is number 36, the first baseman, Dylan Palucci. There's a nice pitch, nice and low on that inside corner. Just said Jeff living low, hitting his spots.
Like I said, it's where you want to be. Yep, one snuck through for a base hit. Sorry, is that Ethan or JJ at shortstop?
I think it might be JJ.
Yeah, I'm sorry, JJ Blankhorn. Yeah.
Yep, sorry, yeah, we made that earlier. That's JJ Blankhorn starting at
JJ
shortstop tonight.
Yeah, I mean, all around stolen base on every aspect there. We really didn't pay much attention to him. He got a big jump. He knew right away he was headed off first pitch. The play before that too, it's just a good hit. I mean, Ethan was kind of playing back. JJ tends to have pretty good range. Covering that middle. 2 base hit, another base hit through the middle. Looks like we're setting the cut 4. in a good spot. Yeah, see, right there, and then, I mean, if you get back to baseball basics, and the difference in this game and understanding of this game is the key critical component there, Dave, is hitting that cutoff. Because if you don't, exactly what just happened. That runner went from third to second. Now we've got a total different situation in regards to a base hit. You know, and those type of things in this game are the difference between 1 and 6 run innings. So, you know, it's critical those things happen in this game. Which gets to the game itself, right? And why they say it's one of the hardest games to play. And credit these boys for staying with it and playing with it. So we got no outs. Runners on second and third. Darren pitching from the stretch. Nice stop from Jess.
Yep. Saved run coming in there.
Yeah.
Get down in front of that.
Yeah. And this is more of an official size field too. So once that ball gets to the backstop, that's pretty much a given advance in any capacity. So.
Up to bat here is number 13, Jared George, and he's their shortstop.
Now this is where Darren really needs to be effective in pitching. He really needs us out at the plate. He doesn't want that bat on the ball because that, in essence, with the infield playing back a little bit, other than the corners, you know, they're giving up the run. Darren's still throwing. We got 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Got the corners in here, trying to hold this run back on third.
Yeah, they'll play that corner. You know, I think the key thing is getting the out here, and Coach Sully knows that. He's trying to get him out of that big inning. So I think if they have a play there, if it's either third short or third or pitching mound, they'll check that runner. Like I said, ball to the corners up. Out.
Nice hustle to keep that close. And that
Yeah, nice
close.
play by Jesse keeping that, and that prevented that run from scoring. What had got 3 balls, 2 strikes. Number 13 has kind of fought back effectively here. He was down 0-2.
No outs here, big out.
Yeah. It's a big out if we can make it. Nice play by Jesse Hesselin over there. I didn't see it by the umpire, but that's a big out, you know. And again, the difference is, and you know, kind of making sure that, you know, we're getting ourselves out of this inning. You know, maybe kind of give up a run here, but the key is that out there. You know, and that's an overall hustle play by Jesse. He has a lot of room over there. Good talk by Dougie, kind of coming off that. You know, pitchers need to kind of help out in those plays, kids, and make sure that, you know, it's your job to make sure that, you know, they know who's got what, especially in that play.
Yep, and covering home plate.
And covering home plate, absolutely. Yep, absolutely. So we got 1 out, Dave. Still runners on second and third. Darren really working here a little bit.
Nice low pitch. Again, trying to get out of this inning.
Yeah.
Of course, try not to give any runs, but if they can settle this down and keep it to a low number, you know, keep
Well, that's
themselves
just
in
it,
the
right?
game.
Yep, keep themselves in the game against a very good team. You know, and I'm sure Taunton's coming here looking past us to some degree, and we're coming off. You know, this is you know, an official opening ceremony to the field. So. A little bit of a wind tunnel here. We're about to lose our tent. We don't want to hurt any spectators.
Nice pitch. Almost got him to go.
Darren's really being aggressive here in what he's throwing. He's letting them know, I'm not just going to give you a fastball in this situation. So you have to respect that. He needs to come in here probably on the outside part of the plate.
There he goes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. That'll go down most likely as an error.
Yep, a deep shot over
Yeah,
there.
you know, it would have been a tough. Yeah, it would have been a tough play all around, but you know, I think his play was the first. You know, that's what they had to go. Looked like Darren might want to have been hitting that outside corner, and I think he came a little bit, probably left too much of the plate there for him to get a good get the good part of the bat on the ball. So at least I could tell by this field how Jesse was setting up Dave.
Yep.
And you can see right now Darren's dropping down a little bit, and you know, like I said earlier, if he stays in that motion up top, following through, that ball tends to live low for him. And once it does, I tell you, he's extremely, extremely effective.
There's the catcher up there, number 9, Max Bowden. Oh, big bounce in the outfield.
Yeah.
Again, I think left that pitch up a little bit where he was trying to hit.
It's exactly right. You know, but the difference between that inning is the first inning to the second inning, Dave, is he just nailed it. It's the ball stays up, right?
Yep.
And he lives low, and with that, you know, strike zone and what he was getting on that first part, or what we saw in the first inning, that's the place where you wanted to live. And I think obviously against a good hitting team, you know, I think they're still in the middle of the lineup on the Taunton. Was, you know, I think what happens there is, you know, you just get too much plate.
Yep.
Good hitter is going to take that pitch. Ball was living more on the outside part of the plate, and he took it out to right center. Now, what was unfortunate was that bounce, Dave.
Oh, I know.
I think Nicky looked at it, it's like, what happened? So we'll write that off to a beautiful new field, just getting groomed and understood. And, you know, next year, a little more plush in that lawn out there. It'll be fine. But Nicky did a very nice job of getting that ball in. He probably would have ended up with a single. He ended up, the runner would have scored regardless, but Nicky did a great job getting that ball in, hitting his cutoff, and stopping the kid from getting over to third base.
This is the right fielder, Billy Emerson, up to bat.
Fly ball out to left field. Left field is tracking very well. There we go. And that's our second out. Ball's hitting the ground a little bit too much right now. We get our boys got to pick it up a little bit. You know, shake it off.
Go back up to the top of the order here for Taunton.
Quick.
Number 5, DJ Coolis.
Two outs here in the second. Got a runner at second base. Leadoff batter up. Darren starts him off with an off-speed pitch and tries the same pitch again. Nice try. I think what they're realizing is that, you know, the Taunton lineup seems to be pretty powerful and staying, you know, right on those fastballs and just trying to get him out in that off foot, you know, get him on that front foot a little bit.
Yep.
Nice stop by Jesse.
We got a count of 3-1 here.
Yeah. I'm not keeping track of pitch counts, Dave, but Darren seems to be getting a little deep in counts on these last, pretty much every batter this inning. So to see him settle down and try to get ahead in that strike zone a little bit.
All right, we got a full count here. Oh, and he got him on the curveball. Very nice. Come on, third strike curveball.
Well, he's definitely not afraid to throw it. That's a good thing. And you're confident in it, throwing it at, I believe there was 3-2.
There's
Throwing
a
a
full count,
curveball. You know, I look at it this way. You know, he leadoff hitter, obviously. You know, and then we're getting into deeper. But Darren did have 2 bags in front of him, or 2
Yep.
bags in front of that third run. That runner with third base kind of had to work with, and I think he realized that. And like you said, you're dealing with good hitters. They're going to sit on fastballs. That's what they're waiting for. But the great thing is they know that if the teams you can get that curve over for strike, and they don't want to swing at it. Believe me, they don't want to swing at it. They're not disciplined enough to understand how to keep those hands back and really drive it at this age. But they always want that fastball. But if you know you can throw it, then at least you can work your fastball in different positions to really to be efficient. So.
Brought that curveball up a little bit more that time, so it was for a strike.
Yep.
So you can live with that.
Exactly. So Dave, we're coming off a big day here. Obviously, we had their opening ceremonies, and you being part of the Foxborough High School Boosters, obviously a key component of that. Where we had the official opening in this field, and I know the boys have been playing on that, but the field looks great.
Beautiful day. We
Yep.
got the new flag raised up out
The
here.
new flag by the Guy family were raised, and we now dedicated that flagpole and memorial sitting area. And I don't know if we can get a shot at that at some point. But to Eddie Guy, a longtime resident of Foxborough, dedicated to youth sports for youth high school. Obviously, in getting to know the Guy family over the years, I wish I had the opportunity to know Eddie Guy, but I didn't. But he sounds like everything, and from this community's perspective of what our community is all about. So it was a pleasure being part of that today. And like I said, from Foxborough Boosters, baseball boosters, Dave's our president. Very key, David, in having that kickoff. So thank you and all the boosters for all that hard work today. It was a wonderful event.
Yep, very well attended. We had all the baseball boys were out there participating in it.
Yep, we probably had well over 100 people there. Now we bring Justin Garcia up. Justin, I believe, is out in right field today.
Yep.
Justin's more of a first baseman by trade. You have the option, luxury of coaching Justin up through Little League and some things into Babe Ruth as well, but primarily. But he does play good outfield, and I think he's kind of helped the team a little bit because of the fact that we did have some injuries, obviously with Dougie and Connor being injured, and Dougie coming off that now. So their throwing's obviously been extremely limited. So Justin's done a very nice job of kind of patrolling that outfield and working things for us out there.
And also one of our key pitchers for the team.
Absolutely, and really, like we talked about, some of those pitchers really kind of stepping up with some of the injuries. Justin's been one of those guys. Really has stepped up, and I think I checked in the Hockomock, and is one of the league leaders in ERA. Unfortunately, with either run production or defense, it just hasn't the luxury of the wins. And like we were talking about, that's kind of what Coach Sullivan was talking about, is consistent play in all aspects of this game. Kind of put things together to have them be a top-notch team.
He was the player of the week last week in the Foxborough local paper for the Reporter.
For throwing his no-hitter against Stoughton.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah. Congratulations, Justin. His dad is also Tom Garcia, who's the president of Foxborough Youth Baseball, so there's a lot of ties there and an understanding of the importance of this game. So here we are at the bottom of the second. We got 1 ball and 1 strike. I think we have Colin Thorner up, David?
Yep, Colin Thorner's up.
Yep. Who, and again, has been kind of stepping into that pitching role and giving them some productive innings, as well as productive at third base, because he had to step into that role too with Connor going down. Connor slated to be the starting third baseman this year. Colin stepped into that role and done a fantastic job.
And Colin's only a sophomore this year, so looking forward to seeing him
He's
for
got
the
a
next couple of
very,
years.
very bright future. He just looks like a ball player out there. In every dynamic of the game, he looks like a ball player. So I'm sure he's going to have a bright future.
Colin's working this count. He's up to a full count here.
Yeah, the Foxborough boys are definitely working the counts here, but I think what they're going to have to start thinking about is what to do with those fastballs they're getting offered to. As he works ball 4 into the count. Yeah. He's got a bad view. I couldn't tell if he was running off or not.
Yep, so that's ball 4, so.
Yeah. Now the key thing is you can kind of see with this Taunton pitcher is he seems to be effective in where he wants to locate his fastball. So it's important that, if he wants to live in the outside corner, well, the ball's got to go opposite field as you as a batter. And drive it to where it needs to be. And, in all honesty, I think they just need to kind of get the bat on the ball more and force the other team to make plays.
Exactly.
Don't sit there and think, don't let the battery kind of dictate the game. You want to force the defense to do what they are out there to do. Just like that, and that should
Nice
actually
one,
get through. That was J.J. Blankhorn. J.J. is one of our 2 seniors, Doug, on the team.
Yep.
I'm happy for him with that base hit, and he's setting the stage here a little bit. I mean, that was important. You know, I think he looked a little, you know, obviously errors are part of baseball, but, you know, I think he really wanted that play at first base to kind of cut that inning down. The good thing, it really didn't well, actually it did hurt them because they scored on the next play on that hit, didn't they?
Yeah, they hit out to right center.
Yeah. Let's see, Foxborough's got runners on first and second. 1 out here in the second inning. And is that 14? I believe that's Jesse, Dave?
Yep, that's Jesse.
Yeah.
Yep.
We get the wrong numbers here, so we're just kind of working with it. But we know that's Jesse.
Yep, that's Jesse from his 14, yeah.
He's not number 2, he's number 14. Jesse's a second-year return now.
Second-year
catcher,
return?
yeah. And he's only a sophomore. Hey, tough one. He kind of doubled it up. Looks like they might have had something on.
Yep, a hit and run or something
Yeah,
there.
although I didn't see, didn't quite see what was going on at second base, but looked like they had a hit and run type situation kind of working through. And Jesse, you know, he had to get the bat on the ball. That's his job in that situation. So you know, he doesn't want that out there and then a throw out. So it looks like they might have had looks like it would have been a first and second hit and run.
Yep.
Yeah. Double steal. Well, you know, at this point when you're, you know, the record you are, and you know you want to make things work and surprise things, you got to play a little more non-traditional. So we're at the top of the third inning. Foxborough's chasing 3. Looks like we still see the same defensive positions out there. Yeah, and then there, as we were talking early about our flagpole, and that flag was actually raised today for the first time on the new field. And for those of you who don't know some of the history, that flagpole has always been a tradition where Eddie Guy would go to the field before games, raise the flag, and then all of a sudden, be the fact that he was an active participant and spectator in all aspects of Foxborough High School sports. That flagpole was dedicated to him today. So. To his family, and we had all of his sons, his daughter, and I think we had close to a half a dozen grandkids there that kind of were part of that ceremony. So, you know, it was good to see that flag raised again. I think, you know, it was kind of nice. I think it was nice for the kids to kind of realize that this is their new home. I think the kids are appreciating that now, and you know, we appreciate all their patience and everything they did last year, and their, you know, in regards to they didn't have a home field.
Absolutely traveled a lot.
Yeah, I think you and I were calling them the wandering group of gypsies. So
right.
we kind of, yeah. So it was all appreciative, and it's all good. And I think now we've got a top-notch complex out here. You know, I think with some growth over the summer, and you know, some more additions to what they want to do. And I know this fundraising event's still planned to kind of help out certain field situations, batting cages and such. I think it's going to be a wonderful complex. So
nice new dugouts out here at this time that were just put up recently. And I think, there's plans to put them over at the softball fields here,
absolutely.
too. So.
Yep, these 2 are for a total of 4 going in. So who we got leading off, David?
We got the second baseman, Zach McLean.
And Zach got a good one here. He got a hold of that, and we're chasing, and that has bounced over the fence. I think they're going to offer him a double. Yeah, if we knew right away, well, again, you're leaving the ball kind of up in that strike zone. And with good hitters, they're obviously going to you know, do what they need to do with it. Left field gave good chase. Ball bounced over.
Yeah, Zach's hitting 370 this year according to the stats. So he's been.
So. Let's see if Foxborough can that kind of.
This is the pitcher. Back up again, Luke.
Yeah.
Pretty much holding off on those curveballs today.
Yeah, I think they've kind of realized, they'll take it deep in the count and try to understand where he's going and wait for that fastball. And
Nice pickup, looks him back.
yeah, checks that runner. Good strong throw to first base. There we go. That brings us to a 1 out. Hey folks, 3-0, 3-0 Taunton. Taunton. Did I say that right, Taunton? Taunton.
Got a runner on second back here. Trying to keep him close. So we can't get a jump to score on a line shot or a single here.
Hey, it's a good point, Dave. And what people don't think or pick up is why you try to take that step away. If that ball gets through on the ground, the difference between him ending up at third or scoring is usually one step. So it's important to let that runner know that he can advance and he can understand where he needs to get to, and get that jump so that when the ball does get through, base hit, he's got the advance, and and it's forcing us into a situation to make a tougher play either at the plate, and more often than not, we have to prevent and try to stop the hitter from ending up at second base.
Up to bat now is a first baseman, Dylan Palucci.
Not much Jesse could do with that. That would go down as a wild pitch. He did, as a catcher, he did everything he needed to do to kind of square up to that and use his body and his protective gear to stop that. But ball was just a little too much out of that zone for him to think he could keep that back. So that the runner advances to third. 3 balls, no strikes. And ball 4. So we got a first and third situation. We'll see how Foxborough plays it here. We're looking over for Coach Sully to kind of figure out what the calls are. So I don't know where we are in that order. Not knowing Taunton whether or not they try to play any level of small ball to kind of advance here, but I think what they'll basically do is just show more patience at the bat. Yeah.
This is the 5-hitter.
Yeah. 5 hitters, he's up there to swing, so probably not much happening there yet. But I think, in all honesty, from the Taunton coach, I think what he's asking his players to do is just remain patient.
Hey, come on, Sammy, let's go.
I think maybe have been a change-up coming in from Darren. Batter seemed to be ahead of it a little bit.
Yep.
We got runners at second and third. 1 out, 1-1 on the batter. Darren works on the stretch. And I'll tell you, you talk about effective defense right there. There you go, right? Corners in, effective to be. Stop that. Now you got 2 outs, and everybody can kind of play back on more defensive positions.
Hold that runner at third, come back.
Yeah. It'd be good to see Foxborough get out of this inning without any damage. And I think offensively, they're going to have to start, jumping on that first good pitch they see from this pitcher. Seems to be extremely effective for Taunton. Long staring from Darren there. I think he might have thought the pitch looked a little better. Maybe he did from his angle.
Nice.
Good effective low outside fastball, David, huh?
Yep.
Yep.
Mixing curveballs with those pitches.
Nice stop by Jesse. Well, we got, who are we in the order? Number 6?
Yep, number 6.
So number 6 in the order.
Yep.
So Darren, first base open, probably isn't going to throw too much meat at that plate. Yep, he got some help there, which is good to see. Again, these Taunton hitters just seem to be waiting for any level of fastball that's coming there, and
Anything elevated up in the strike zone.
yeah, you know. Although I have to say, probably not a very good pitch to swing at right there.
2-2.
Yeah. And like I said, I think Darren was just really kind of working, you know, not giving too much to that plate. Maybe he'll work into the next batter, I'm sure. You know, the boys understand who's coming up, what they do, what their stats are. Excuse me.
Get the number 7 batter up here.
Number seven. You wish they do that all the time, David.
Make it easy.
Yeah. It looked like a ball low. 1-0 on the batter, 2 outs, and bases are loaded. Nice inside pitch there, but Aaron brings the count to 1-1, Dave. Luxury of a high one there, we'll take it. Oh, and there goes the, yeah.
Oh, almost lost our canopy there.
Yeah. Get some wind coming through, and I'd like to thank Mr. Butt for his assistance. I don't think those Taunton fans would have been too appreciative if our tent went flying their way. Although they do seem a little friendly, so maybe that'd be okay.
Get a pass ball there.
Like I said, you know, the official distance here of this field, once that ball gets past the catcher and it's going back to the backstop, everyone's pretty much going to advance. So we got 2-2 now, Dave. 2 outs, second and third.
I have to comment on that picture. I'm telling you, girlfriend, you and your honey.
Oh, we get a full count
Yeah, we
here.
got another full count. I don't know what Darren's pitch count's up to, but the last couple innings, I think he's kind of had to stretch it out a little bit. We'll see. 3-2, 2 outs. Yeah. And ball 4. Oh, did we get a trip to the mound already?
We haven't had one yet.
No, not this inning, right? I think we had last inning. We had one out there. So, all right. Well,
The number 8 batter coming
another
up
great
here.
batter. Well, it's all about right now is being efficient and throwing strikes, right?
Yep.
You know, you're at the point of okay, you're chasing 4 runs, and you really just need to kind of throw strikes here to kind of get it going. Thanks, Jim.
Yep, you're down, getting down in the order here. Try to throw some strikes and have them either throw a strikeout or get the ball on the ground here and let your defense.
Right. You can see Darren just took a little off that time to kind of really get the strike. I think the first one, the last couple pitches in the last batter, just trying to overthrow the ball a little bit. So at this point, it's all about throwing strikes and you're letting your defense do what they need to do to get you in there to kind of do it again. I think he just needs to be a little more, you know, he needs to find those strikes. And then he can start thinking about that off speed for strikes. All right, and I think we got 2-2, Dave. He's kind of fought back a little bit. You think, you know, his last 2 pitches for strikes, you know, he's taken it off a little bit, kind of worked the ball in the inside corner.
Hitting a much better spot.
Yeah.
Not trying to overthrow.
Yeah. You can just kind of, I think this is kind of where he needs to slow things down a little bit. You know, maybe a trip, slow him down a little bit, kind of get him to breathe. Understand that, you know, it's one pitch at a time. You know, not to think more than one pitch at a time. so often when you're on the field, you're thinking about every different scenario that's running through. And what's important in this game is you focus on the moment and what you need to do at that point in time. Yeah. And like I said, I think we're going to get a trip from the pitcher. We may, yeah. Well, maybe not. Yeah, Jesse's doing a good job. I think he's recognizing the moment here and just trying to get Darren to slow down a little bit.
Yep, looks like we got a looking at some activity heading out to the bullpen.
Looks like we got John Finn walking out there, David.
Yeah, that was John Finn.
Yeah, John Finn. Again, kind of stepped into a pitching role. Maybe not so much, you know, assumed that he was going to see some innings, but again, being kind of forced into that role. I think he's just been more of kind of reliever. But you know, I know John is a pitcher, and you know he'll pound the strike zone, pound the strike zone. He's kind of fearless out there, and that's all you want.
Yep.
Yeah.
Next up.
I think
that
we'll
ball.
take this one. That's too bad. Just couldn't find it. Yeah, 2 balls, no strikes. Looks like
2, 2, and 2.
2,
No.
2 and 2.
Actually, 2. Yeah, see, no
Yeah, we
strikes
got
yet.
runners at second and third.
Yep. Ninth batter for these guys. Number 10, Billy Emerson. Oh, nice scoop.
There you go. And that's the middle half of the 3rd inning. Foxborough 0, Taunton 6. You know, like I think we were talking about the difference between a run 1 inning and a 6-run inning. It's just, you know, doing the things you need to do, you know, as players up and down, you know, in any position. You know, I think, you know, from an overall pitching perspective, you know, would like to see a little more of the strikes. Maybe, you know, not understand so much about, you know, the off speed, you know, back in the count, but really trying to get that and understand that strike and get a rhythm to start throwing strikes. And I think what I saw a little bit too much is a little, you know, too much of the, you know, off speed pitches, and he couldn't seem to get in a rhythm. So, you know, if Darren comes back out next inning, I think, you know, it'd be good to kind of see him get that rhythm, you know, get strikes. You know, if they're going to hit it, you know, I think, I'm not quite sure how many hits they've had. I don't have the stats in front of me, but you know, I think they're 3 hits, you know, 2 fairly good ones, but, you know, we seem to be making some plays. Balls, you know, getting down. When he keeps the ball down low, David, we seem to be making the plays in the infield. So.
Yep, Taunton's going to hit the ball, but you got a good defense out here.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he's just going to be not afraid to throw those strikes.
Yeah. You
in
got
there.
right. Exactly. I think, you know, the 1st inning he seemed extremely effective and was getting all 3 of his pitches over for strikes. Let's see if Darren can come out the next inning, and I know he's thrown a lot of pitches, and you know the boys have played a lot of baseball in a short period of time, so I'm sure Sully's got him on a pitch count in regards to where he wants to go and how deep he's going to go in this game. But you know, here's what it comes down to: is you're chasing 6. You know, we can talk about pitching, we can talk about defense, but you know what? You know, you got to hit the ball.
Yep, we got to get some
we gotta hit
runners on the bases.
Yep. We got to hit the ball.
Up to bat now is A.J. Bubenzik.
AJ's out in left field today. Yep. AJ, another underclassman. Nice little outside pitch, trying to drive it that way. Yep. His team's recognizing that was actually a very good swing. Boys seem to be getting a little fired up. Kind of push the count to 3-1. And this is where you say, you know what, you put it in the box. You know, you're up in the count. You're looking for a good pitch that you can drive, and drive hard. And caught the outside corner. Pushing it 3-2. Again, looks like he tried that outside corner again.
Yep.
I
All
think
right.
we're back up to the top of the lineup.
Yep, up to the top of the lineup with Nick Wright.
Got one out the bottom of the third.
And Nick had a fly ball to start off the game. Out to center field, see if he can bring that down a little.
You know, one thing about Nicky I can say is his work ethic is incredible. Very, as we were saying, baseball is a very difficult sport to play, and you need to work at this. It's not one of those sports that you could just think you can pick up and go out and play. You have to work at the sport. Nicky's work ethic is phenomenal. You know, I think he plays pretty much year round. Plays on AU teams, plays on summer teams, and really, really loves and enjoys the sport.
And Nick was hit by that pitch, so Nick's off to first.
Let's see if Foxborough can get something going here, get on the board.
They'll probably be sending Nick here. It's pretty fast.
The only one thing they may is, yeah, I mean, I think if he gets a good jump or they don't pay much attention to him go, but they are chasing 6 runs. So, although he's looking pretty aggressive over there right now, David. There's a nice piece of hitting there by Darren.
He'll be going around to third.
And you can see that pitch kind of laying up. Darren did a very nice job just punching it, just punching it right where it needed to be. Sets us up here. We got runners at second. I'm sorry, for Nicky was able to get third in that on that hit. David first and third.
With one out.
With one out. And it brings up Dougie.
Let's go 3-5. Get him in, good.
He's coming right with fastballs to Dougie. The first ones, I think he threw nothing but curveballs. Let me see something off speed here, but I think they're worried about that runner advancing. Yeah. Tough pitch. Not much is going to happen with that pitch other than call the ball or a strike, to be honest with you.
They're going to go to the same spot.
Yeah, I'm going to try to go there. He just left it up in the zone a little bit. I think Dougie liked what he saw with that pitch, though. Okay, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Three good pitches there from the pitcher. That brings up Connor. And we get 2 outs here. I think Foxborough may do something here to kind of advance something a little bit. Maybe try to mix it up. That's going to get up, and that should be down fair ball.
Oh, just foul.
Just foul ball. It looked like I could actually had a great view. It looked like it must have hooked at the last minute. Couldn't tell if that pitch was on the outside corner, if he just caught that off his hands.
It looked like an outside pitch.
Was it? Well, you know, if it was an outside pitch, that's where it needed to go. Oh, and 2.
Getting that outside part of that plate there with that fastball. Tough one to catch up with.
Yeah, it was a good pitch. I was watching it here on the camera from behind, and he just pounded that outside strike zone. You know, I liked what Foxborough did. I think they were aggressive with the bats. Both hits, everything that kind of was driving out to right field, knowing that that pitcher's really kind of hitting that outside corner. So that's effective. That's adjustments, right, Dave? I mean, that's what this game's about, is you make adjustments. You know, you don't come up and, you know, you try to turn those pitches over and drive those or pull those pitches. You know, you fly out to the shortstop, and, you know, you're not, you know, it's going to be an easy out. But, you know, you recognize the fact that he's going out, you got to go that route. So it's unfortunate there. They had the table set with one out, and they can't kind of get the job done. It looks like we get Darren back on the mound, which I'm happy to see. It'll be good to see Darren, like we talked about, David, getting into that rhythm. Really kind of trying to see if he can get ahead in the strike zone, and then he can start thinking about, you know, different off pitches. But I think he needs to get ahead in that strike zone. He needs to get ahead in that in the count.
Throwing a lot more first pitch strikes, you know.
Yeah, he needs to start doing that. And we saw that in the first inning. We saw a little bit in the second inning. He needs to keep that going. I think once he does that, then he can start setting things up. We get top of the fourth. We'll cruise along here. We're chasing 6 runs.
We got the top of the order coming up here for Taunton.
Yeah. I don't see any defensive changes out here. I think we pretty much the defense is still the same. Dave?
Yep, looks like the same set.
Yep.
Oh, just a little inside.
Yeah, just a little inside there. 1-0. Jesse looks in from the coach. Sets up. I think he's just going to be trying to say, let's get some strikes here. Yeah. Trying to take a little off that, kind of try to get in on a strike. You know, understood what he was trying to do. Yeah, now we're 3-0.
All right, 3-1 now. Again, he'll be looking for a pitch in a perfect spot.
Nice play by Colin again.
It's a nice pitch, throwing that over a little bit high. So
Yeah, you know what? I'm a little surprised he's a leadoff hitter.
Yep, he's a leadoff hitter.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah, I don't think he's too happy that he kind of went after that pitch, setting up in 3-1. I mean, we used to say, you know, put it in a box. You know, if it's not in that perfect spot, then don't go get it. So, you know, like you said, I think Darren was kind of up in that a little bit, and I don't know if it was more on the outside part of the plate, and he just kind of tried to pull it inside and set it up real nice for Colin with that nice little bounce, and Colin made a good strong throw over to Dougie for the out.
Darren getting behind a little bit here again.
Yeah, again. You know, he had to fight it back on that leadoff hitter, but going 3-0 again.
He's taking this one.
All right, we got a runner on first, one out. Brings up number 19.
Got the pitcher, Luke.
Luke. I believe Luke had that a big hit. And saying right now Luke's batting a 500. Yeah.
500 this year.
Yeah, I think Luke is the one that put the double. Should be doing a book, but we're not doing a book here. But I believe he had the double there. So he's setting 1-0. And put it on him. Close play. We got a runner at second, 2-0, 1 out. And this is where you're looking for a hitter's pitch here. Nice job by Darren hitting on that inside.
That'll take that to 3-1, I believe.
3-1. Again, he's looking for something really solid that he can get a hold of and drive.
Waiting on that fastball.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, nice play by second baseman. All around, great play. Yeah, and got him at first. You know, the reason why it was a great, I mean, he was actually trying to recover. He was trying to keep that runner the runner at second baseman close, was trying to recover back to his position. And the worst thing that can happen in this situation is ball just put where you just ran from. But, you know, you see guys like Dustin Pedroia make plays like that all the time. You know, that's what second baseman's all about. It's getting dirty, getting down on the ball, keeping the ball down in front of him, and then making the play. So that was Colin? No, John?
Yeah, John Cronin.
John Cronin. Great play by John Cronin out there.
It's another sophomore out there, so
yeah.
he's looking forward to another couple of good years of baseball here.
Absolutely. Like he'll settle in nice at that position there. And 2-0. Nope, I'm sorry. 0-2.
The number 4 batter.
Yeah, number 4 batter. Jesse looks in for the sign from
Right
coach.
at him.
Yeah, I think so. Right, hit that outside corner. There you go. And I think we're right. What do you think, Dave? Pass ball, wild pitch. What's the book say?
What's the book say?
Yeah, I'm just looking out to see what they rule that as. I don't think they're going to give us a book on that. I think I would have went with a pass ball.
Yeah, bounce in the dirt out in front, not very far.
Yeah, tough. Tough. It would, all in all, tough play all around. You really didn't get the charity or of a good hop there. You got a fly ball to left field, tracking in, and the ball looks like it's down. Yeah, that'll go as a base hit. Good effort out there by AJ. Looks like he got a pretty good jump on the ball.
Yep, it was an off speed or a curveball, so he
kept
his hands back.
Ball got up in the wind there a little bit and kind of held it in. I think where they were traditionally back. So looks like coach is heading out, and looks like we're going to get a new pitcher.
Yep, we got John Finn over here in the wings.
Looks like we get John Finn coming in. Looks like we may have some defensive switches too. So John Finn comes to the mound, junior, lefty. Kind of, what I remember from John is kind of, and we'll watch him as he warms up. Really drops down on the ball.
Yep, a 3/4.
Yeah, 3/4. Yeah, exactly. It looks like his velocity's picked up this year, and I know in conversations I've had, I haven't seen him pitch, Dave, but I think it looks like his velocity's picked up a little bit from what it was last year. Again, it's just, with a pitcher like that, 3/4 up, be aggressive, right? And let the fact that they may not be able to time it just right, and see where that can kind of take you. And like you said, we're saying all game long, let your defense do their job.
I've seen him pitch a lot before. Biggest thing is, for the batters, trying to pick up that release point.
Yeah, exactly.
And he'll go 3/4. He'll even go almost a sidearm at
Yep.
him. So he's usually very good at throwing strikes and issues with people trying to pick up that release point.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. And that's kind of why, you see some of those, what they call the submariners in the big leagues, is they do that. They don't overpower people. It's just about understanding where that release point is and timing it effectively. So, and that's why they can become effective. Especially, 1-2 times through the lineup. I think, when you get a little deeper in games and situations, people time it a little better. But I think for the most part, you're absolutely right, David. It's all about timing. So
if he can keep his pitch count down here and not get through the order very quick, so as you said, if they're not going to see him a second time or third time, I think he'll be in good shape.
Yeah, absolutely. So defensive change. We've now had Darren has come off the mound, and he's going over to shortstop. So hopefully he won't see too much action over there. Well, he seems to be his arm seems to be the same length, so maybe a good thing. So
Yep, and that looks like the only change out there.
yeah.
Definitely want to keep his bat in the order too.
Yeah,
so, you know.
that's exactly it. That's exactly it. So maybe
There's a nice strike.
Yeah.
First pitch strike.
yep. John Finn looks in. He's got to run at first base. We get 2 outs here in the 4th. And just missed out there.
Yep, a little outside.
Yeah, it just looks like it's just missing just a bit. We got a good view here, so we can critique the umpire if we think that Jesse seems to be setting on that outside corner. Yeah, he's just missing outside.
And John go right at him.
Setting 3-1 here, 2 outs, just that. Let's just throw strikes.
That number 5 batter.
Yeah. Comes up number 13.
Yep, we get up there now. Jared George.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how
He's there,
productive.
shortstop.
Okay.
Hitting 241 looks like, but he's a
Yeah.
home run hitter, so he's going for some.
John did a nice job taking a little bit over that to get us up, get up in the strike count here. Up. All right, setting the bases loaded again.
Yep,
Seems to
with
be
Brendan.
a common occurrence here.
Get the third baseman up here again. Number 7, Brendan. Taunton have been a good hitting team this year. He's hitting a little over 400 coming into this game.
That should be a foul ball. Yeah, called by the field umpire. Right now, again, I just want to see strikes.
Yep.
Just throw strikes. John just needs to focus in there a little bit. Dig deep, work hard. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Took a little off, but
Little
throws a
off,
nice strike.
exactly. Yeah, put it in a good, he didn't put down the heart of the plate. Put it on that corner. Let's see if John can get the punch out here.
There we go.
Yeah, perfect. All around,
strike.
good job. You know what? He came in. He had a hits batsman, walked the batter there, but he got the out when he needed to. And like we were just saying, you could see he kind of bear down a little bit to that last batter and put the ball in a good spot. Got the ball on the ground. Third out, and we move on. Wind's starting to pick up here. Blowing. It looks like actually we may be blowing out now. That brings us to we're in the mid half of the 4th here, and Foxborough chasing 7 runs. We got coming up in the lineup, David. Again, we're not keeping a book here. It's one of those things we always keep a book. Looks like we get Colin Thone leading, yeah. So we got Colin, Justin, then Colin. Battery seems the same for Taunton, which is I think important now. I'm sure they're into they're in the playoffs. So each game, this may be their last game, but what it comes down to now is just seeding. I assume they're a Division I placement, based on Taunton's enrollment. So they'll basically just be playing for seeding, and which is important, because you so hard getting to this point, as a team. So, you love getting yourself in a very good position come the MIA playoffs.
Yep, especially get some home field games in there.
Exactly. Exactly.
This is the last week
Yeah.
set of games for everybody. I think the playoffs start next Wednesday.
Yeah, they'll probably have the placement meetings early. I know the week has been extended. I think most seasons have kind of wrapped up, but the season was extended obviously due to the weather and the field conditions, which I do have to say this field has rebounded very nicely. So, and most fields have, and it's good. I think we've been a luxury about no rain this year as well. And
Shot down to third.
yeah, shut down a third. All around great play by that player. Yeah, yeah. If we get a replay on that, but nice play. I mean, again, we talked about staying down on the ball in the infield, knocking the ball to the ground, good strong throw across the field to get the out. Well, and in all honesty, Justin's a lefty coming out of that box, so he had to make that good throw. So.
We have Colin Thorner up here to bet. Made some good swings the last time up.
If you're lucky, you can even eat one of them. All the juice. And the hamburger. That's sirloin.
Get 1 ball, 1 strike. Quite sure where this pitcher is in his pitch count, or what type of watch they got him on. His velocity seems to be still there, though. No doubt about that. I think most players have been having, for Foxborough, been having a hard time catch up on that. Most hits have kind of been either late or having to deal with an outside kind of, corner or where to put that ball or to drive that ball. But I assume they're fairly deep in their pitching staffs and not knowing who their ace is. But
Oh, nice.
yeah, second walk by Colin. I think, and it's twice. He's kind of worked the pitcher deep in the pitch count.
Hey, man, just be wary here.
All around, we call that a good at bat, David. Yeah.
Yep, get a man on.
I think for Foxborough, we only got 1 hit. I think it's just the Darren punch out to right,
Yep.
David? Yeah. That brings up John Finn.
He's a 2-1, but good laying off that pitch. Hard pitch to hit.
Yeah. You can really tell with this Taunton pitcher, about his release and where he is, and you can really kind of pick up a good understanding of, where that ball leaves his hands and what's going to be a good pitch. Like I think those last 2 pitches, but you could tell before he kind of was falling off a little bit off the mound. His release was kind of more on the, he was dropping down a little bit, and his release point was not quite where he would be. But, a good pitcher makes adjustments, and
Yep.
I think that's exactly what you just saw for those 2 tough pitches that he threw to John.
He's really getting that outside strike today.
Yeah. Yep. A tough pitch there by Jesse. No, I do have to tell you, as being an umpire, the toughest balls and strikes to call are the low pitches. It's really tough to kind of read. You're back, you're away, you're behind the catcher. You're trying to understand how that ball's coming across the plate. Calling outside corners and inside corners are a piece of cake. It's those low pitches that are really, really difficult for an umpire. The way Jesse's reacting, we had a foul ball. I don't think we heard anything, but we got 1 ball, 2 strikes. I'd like to see Jesse be aggressive with that bat right now.
Gonna go for that outside strike.
Yeah.
Oh, what's
Yeah.
curveball?
Nice pitch. So I think he said. I mean, he seems to be. He sets his fastball up inside out, in out, in out, in out. Gets his curveball over very
Yep.
well. I don't think I've seen a changeup come much, or maybe a little bit of off speed, or maybe that's where he's struggling with some of those releases. But you know, the thing is, if you're hitting your corners and you can set your curveball up, you know, you're giving yourself a good situation to get your team ahead.
Yep. He's
Because-
keeping it very low.
Yeah. And you throw some run production in there, David, and you know that's the makings of a good team. And I think that's kind of what we're seeing with Taunton. You know, a few plays that where we've gotten the bat on the ball, they've made effective pitching. You know, in regards to how they want to place and pitch to batters. So, you know, it's good to see. In all honesty, you know, it's some good baseball. I know we may be sitting on the back end of a score we would like to see, but you know, we're seeing a pitcher do what they think what they need to be, what they need to do. So coming into the top of the fifth, looks like we got ourselves a new catcher. Is that Jason Reed?
Yep. But I think he's just warming up at this
He's
point.
warming him up. Yeah. Yep. Jesse's still.
Yeah,
in
he was
there.
out on the bases,
Yeah.
so I just was up to bat too.
Yeah, Jesse had David had his full gear on, so it looks like we had a new catcher coming in by right. I don't see any other defensive fouls. It looks like we get Darren back at short. So, well, let's see if John gets a clean slate this inning. So we'll see if he can be effective, and I think pitch the way he did to those last two batters and get some ground balls here, make some plays, get in here and get to the bats again.
Yep, we're still at the top of the fifth here, so they still got a lot of baseball left.
All right, here we go. John getting ready to pitch to his first batter here. Who is
The number 8 batter.
number 8 batter?
Got Max Bowden up here.
Max.
Again, Taunton's been a well-hitting team this year. You know, their 8 batters hitting 386, so.
Yeah, like I said, playing in that Kelly Rex, where you've seen the likes of Mansfields and Franklin's and who else we got over there. Fairly good teams. I think those are probably the two teams that they're but playing them twice.
Yep. Got Mansfield's at the top of that group now.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, you see good ball, you see good pitching. You know what? This time of the season, you're ready to roll.
Yeah, Franklin, North Attleboro.
Yeah.
Attleboro in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
King
yeah,
Philip.
all very good teams. So the Kelly Rex has been extremely strong. I think over in the Davenport we've got, is it OA leading the charge?
Yep. Yep, always clinched their title for the division.
Yeah, so we got OA and right there is Canton and
Canton
actually,
and-
yeah, Canton.
Canton
So
and-
could be a big game for Canton come. I'm not
so
sure
it
how
is.
Canton's doing today, but Canton being 9-9 in Division 2, they would need to win that game to get to the MIA playoffs. And same with Milford too. So, you know, in talking with Coach Sullivan before the game, you know, he was kind of looking for different opportunities to kind of play each game and things to shoot for, and you know, to knock a Davenport team out of a playoff. Well, you know what? That's, you know, there's wins that you can look at that, and you know, different reasons for the kids to get up for games. So.
Oh, that one sailed on him a
Yeah,
little.
yeah, I think right now, pure honesty, is John's just trying to overthrow the ball. So I think he just needs to get strikes going, get in his rhythm. Get 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner at first. And we got luxury here. Let's see if we can make this play. No, yeah.
A good pitch. He was way out in front of that one. But
Yeah,
a nice bounce.
Yeah, very difficult play to make. I mean, whether or not, you know, we had runner at, what was it? We just had a runner at first.
Yep.
So. all around, that would have been a bang-bang play if we would have seen something made, David.
Everybody's way out in front.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what we'd like to see is that typical ground ball third base right now. See if we can go bang-bang here, huh? The middle's back. And now we're sitting 1-on-1. We can turn a double play here, David. What do you think?
Nice pitch. Yep, the way he's pitching coming across that plate.
Yeah, we just saw the
Should be.
difference there between the two pitches before. The pitch before to that pitch was he just took a little bit off it. That's all he needed. And, you know, he set up for a nice pitch there, went up in the count. Although we didn't get the called strike, that was actually a very good pitch by John. So 2-2 here. Well, let's just say that missed tie. How's that?
Yep.
I think the umpire actually wanted to kind of pull it, so we'll see, but we'll just let that go. But we'll say it missed tie. There we go.
There we
He
go.
got it anyways. Perfect.
There you go, one down.
I have to say, that's probably the best batter that John's pitched to in his 2 innings here, so let's see if we can keep that up.
Yep, the number 2 batter.
We're number
Zach
2.
McLean.
Attaboy.
Nice pitch, he's up in the count.
Yeah, you just said it. He's up in the count. See if he goes with the same spot. Looks like Jesse's trying to kind of set him up outside. And there's
Oh,
that
nice
bang
scoop.
bang play we wanted. There's one. Yep, not in time.
Nice scoop there at
Yeah,
third.
yeah, great play by Colin. I think he gets some dust in his eye or something there. Oh, seems a little shaken up. And we may get time out here by the coach here to kind of check to see if he's doing okay. Yeah. Well, you know what? That was the play we wanted, right? We knew, Taunton hitters getting around on the bat, getting the bat around the ball. However, John's, keeping the kind of ball with that, ball staying low, getting the ball on the ground, getting that double play. And it looks like we may get the second play. Here we go.
Oh.
All right, well, right way to go with the ball. I hit 2 options. He could have taken the forced third there, but normally you'll go across. You go across the diamond on that. A good decision. Just
Yep.
errors a part of baseball. That's just the way it is. Best thing you can do is just jump right back and make the next play.
Yep, still 2 outs here, so they can get out of this
Exactly.
with a good play.
Well, no damage at all. So we'll see if we can get this turned around for him and get John out of this inning.
The number 4 batter up here.
Nice stop by Jesse. Yeah, and coach is calling. He's calling. Put it in that box and drive it.
Get everybody back.
Yeah. No. Well, no place to put him, David. So I'm gonna have to fight back here. I'm gonna make him cross the plate. Let's make him earn it. See if John can fight back 3-0 here. It's gonna bring in the 8th run. So 2 outs here in the 5th. Bases loaded. We get number 3 here, which is in number 6 batter.
Number 5 batter,
Number 5
Sam
batter.
Moore,
Thank you, Sam Moore.
the left fielder.
Yeah.
There's a nice pitch. It's up in the count here, so that's good.
Yeah, let's see if they make a play here. Well, they're going position. Yeah. Just two outs here. 13 up, and we are back to, this is their, I'm sorry, you were saying this was more one of the considered their power hitters here, huh?
The six batters.
I think what we're seeing is the effects, and Dave and I kind of look at the stats of Taunton. Coach was kind enough to provide us all the stats of the players. I think as a team they're hitting 310 as a team. I think as a team they've scored 99 runs. So, you know, with a total of 27 doubles, so it looks like they can run as well. They got total of 25 stolen bases too.
Right.
So I think what we're seeing is that net effect of that, you know, team coming in here hitting 310, and as a team, you know, hitting 310, that's quite an impressive stat. And I'll say it again, and playing over in the Kelly Rex, well, you know what, for a team to do that. I think you're seeing a good team here that's probably going to fairly go deep based on the depth of their pitching in the MIA playoffs. Like I said, Taunton's always had a very good program, continues to have a very good program. It's unfortunate they came over to the Hockomock.
I know.
You know, but what's fortunate about that is now we, as a small town, and like I was telling you, you know, from an enrollment perspective, you know, Foxborough is still considered one of the smallest schools in Division II. And many of our programs play in Division II playoffs. I mean, the baseball and I think soccer still plays by Sullivan rules, and again purely by where they're actually considered Division III programs.
Right.
And they only have to be or win 50% of their games against Division III opponents. And that's why the Ashland game was fairly, yeah, I think Bang Bang played there by Jesse. I think we need to kind of recognize that. I actually like to play. I know we're throwing behind runners, but you know, he's recognized his pitch is struggling here a little bit, and he's trying to get the outer for him. So I actually appreciate the play. We just need to make sure we understand that that's coming. But like I said, you know, they do play at the Sullivan rule. That's why the Ashland game was an important game last Friday. First time the two Division III opponents were Ashland. Their only Division III opponents were Ashland. The first time they played Ashland, they won that game, Dave.
Right.
I think they won it handily. And then the second game, which would have determined.
Oh, we also played Weston.
That's it, Weston.
So
Weston
we had
was
four
the
this
other
year.
4. So they had to go 500 against those 4 teams.
And Weston had a very strong team this year.
Yeah. Weston, another strong baseball program. But
so it is tough playing in the Hockomock, being that, you know, we are the only Division III team in the group.
It is, and like I said, we're, you know, again, more of a smaller enrollment.
Exactly.
We offer many spring programs for the kids, which is great for the kids to play. So, you know, Sully has, I think he still has good numbers. I mean, he had a freshman, JV, and a varsity squad here, obviously. And I think the freshman and JV squads have been right around 500, which is perfect and what you want as a as a head coach. You know, you want to make sure that your teams below you and the kids coming up are competitive. So that's a great thing. But I think, like what we said before, this is a very, very young team. And it had to make adjustments very early in the season. A tough play here by Darren. Nice scoop, and we got him at first. All around, nice play. Dougie keeping it on that ball, staying with the stretch, taken by a step. So, and that gets Foxborough the inning here in the 5th. Middle of the 5th, we get Foxborough 0 and Taunton 11. See if we can get the boys to kind of see if they can come around here a little bit.
Rally a little bit here. Come back. Looks like we're going to have some warming up for pitching here going by.
Yeah, they're heading down. And one of the luxuries of this new field is we've got a bullpen system down here on the left field side that accommodates both teams, so we can keep pitchers moving in, pitching. You know, it's one of our new luxuries, obviously, in the new field. You know, we've got the dugouts that were installed. by Dave and Ellen Feldman worked diligently over the weekends. I know you had a hand in that as well. Carpenter Dave.
Oh, yes.
Yep. Heard you can swing a mean hammer. You can come over to my house anytime you like. Although, do you paint?
No, I wasn't allowed to be involved with the painting
Yeah,
part of
see,
this.
I'm the same thing. My wife just says stay away from the paintbrush. Although she seems to be making me paint the house this year, but
I know they had a bunch of the players were down here on Monday doing some painting with her, so she had her hands full. We're trying to supervise them painting up these dugouts.
one thing about this team, is that they seem a bunch of good kids. Just kind of watching them being luxury here, and I haven't seen many games, but luxury here to kind of see them watch and keep each other up and talk to each other and and support each other. That's critical, especially if, you're coming off not a lot of wins this season, and obviously we're at the tough position on this game and not where we want to be. But the kids seem extremely supportive. And the other thing in talking, with my son and I know his friends, and they talk about the importance of working, off season and continuing to try to improve your game. And in all honesty, it's a reason why a lot of kids maybe go away from this game too, is because it requires hard work, and it's a game where the majority of the time you will fail. So that's a tough position to be in. And errors are part of baseball. A one-on-one situation is part of baseball. It takes a certain mindset and understanding and willingness and composure and compassion to play it. So it's and that's why I commend any one of these kids. And as we just talked about, in the pregame ceremony about their passion for it and their appreciation for it.
And lots of hours practicing in the cages and
exactly. Without further ado, and a good segue in that is a kid by what we see here with Nicky, who has that work ethic. And he just really, really, really appreciates and respects this game. And that's all you can ask. And you can look up and down this dugout and see the same thing as well. Well, Nicky, 1-on-1 here. We got one out. Nice shot of Nicky here on the side here. Tough one go by there. Nicky looks very composed and balanced in that box.
there's that outside strike he's been throwing all day.
Yeah.
Pretty quick release.
That brings up Darren. I think Darren may have the only hit of this game. Yeah.
I think it's the only one so
the
far.
only one, yeah.
Oh, there
That
he is
one's
again.
up.
Nice swing.
Yeah, it's going to hang up there a little bit. Yeah, unfortunate. Made some confusion on outs there. I think I was confused as well.
2 outs, and Colin Thorner led off the inning there with a bunt that they threw down to first.
Yeah, okay, so it was the bunt.
Yep.
It was the strikeout and then the fly ball sent to center field. That brings us to the 6th inning here. Looks like, quite see if we're having, we've got return to the mound. Oh, looks like we're calling Thunder. Okay, yep, and looks like we've got Aaron Wetling moving over third base. Colin is now the battery with, looks like we got Jesse, still getting his gear on.
And looks like we're going to have a change at short also here. Looks like Ethan Butt.
Ethan's heading out there, yep. I know we were talking about the team of good kids, but no better kid than Ethan Butt. He's just a well-mannered young man. That brings Colin Thoner in. And again, Colin's kind of moved into that starting role with the injuries, as we talked about before. He's a sophomore. Seems to have pretty good velocity, quick release. And getting great experience up here right now for the next 2 years. I think we've got any more changes out there, David. Well, it looks like we get Cam Feldman out in right field. Yes, why don't we go through? So Justin Garcia's moved over to first base.
Yep.
Looks like we still have.
John Cronin at second.
Yeah.
Ethan Butt at shortstop. And Aaron Wentling over here at third.
Yeah.
Going out to right field. Yep, we have Cam Feldman there. Center field is still Nicky Wright. Left field.
Still looks like AJ. Your eyes are better than mine, buddy.
No.
Yeah, okay.
I'm trying to see through the screen here.
And looks like we got Mr. Reed catching.
Oh, yeah, it looks like we have a catching change here.
Catching change.
Yep, we have Dan Reed in here
Yeah,
catching.
looks like Taunton's made a host of changes as well. I think number 27. Yeah, we've kind of lost. We don't know where we're in the batting order here, but Colin getting ahead in the count. A tough outside pitch.
Yep, Dan Noonan.
Dan Noonan. Colin seems to be working very quickly on the mound. Yeah, Nicky should see if Nicky can track that down. Oh, great effort by Nicky.
Should be trying to take third
Yeah,
here.
let's see if they got him here. All right, you know what? Colin did a nice job hitting those outside corners. Came in a little bit too much on that, and nice piece there by Mr. Noonan, if I had that correctly. But more impressive, I thought, was Nicky out in center field. You know, fully stretched out to go out there looking for that web gem, but just missed it. But he tracked it very, very well. And that's a long way out there.
We got a new gentleman up here, Nick
Prune.
Nick Prune,
Nick
number
Prune,
16.
yeah, number 16.
Junior says he is a pitcher, so might be looking at a pitching change here coming up too.
See if Nicky can track. Tracks well. We got a tag here at home. I don't think we won't have much of a play. One away here in the 6th. Sacrifice fly. You know, when you're in that situation, you got to run on third. You know, they're up, and I'm sure they want to, swing the bat as hard as they can. But I mean, you want to get the bat in the ball, right?
Right.
You know, you want to advance that. You want to keep it, in a situation where, you're not getting 1-2 outs with that run on third, not getting in the position to get them home. So, you can see the batter just kind of recognized that, and he just wanted to get the bat in the ball.
Nice first pitch strike, followed up by a curveball. He's ahead of the count 0-2 here, so some nice pitching.
Colin's been extremely efficient these few batters. Little pitcher and catcher conference here. I wonder if there was a mix-up here on what calls were and what was what. So I think Mr. Reed might have been expecting a different pitch, and
There we go. 0-2 here. Okay, had a good one to waste.
One ball, 2 strikes. Maybe trouble here.
That's a short
Everybody's on
one.
a run. Cam's making the move.
Oh, and a diving catch
Yeah,
by Nick
diving
right out
catch by
there.
Nicky Wright. And we talked about Nicky taking control out there, and you could see that, there was good communication. I think Cam may have had a play on it. I think it was a little bit out of reach of the second base, but that's Nicky's job. I mean, he's overruled that and called that, and he's the leader out there. He's the center fielder. So, great play. And you know what? He deserved it after that 1-0 the cap shot that he didn't catch up to. So, nice play by Nicky. Well, do I continue to call him Nicky, or they go by Nick now? can't say, not like little kids anymore.
Right.
Yeah, Nick. Nice play, Nick. I'm sure the kids will be around TV watching this game, right?
Well, call me Nicky.
Call me Nicky all the time. That's all right. That brings us 2 outs here in the 6th. 1 ball, 1 strike. Let's see if we can get a good stop there for Ethan.
Nice
Beautiful,
throw.
yeah. Ethan came right through that ground ball. Made that look easy. Nice play.
Stepped and followed through, took his
Yeah,
time
he
on the
just kind
throw.
of followed right through it. You know, he played, everything was kind of one motion heading to first base. And, you know, that's just repetition. You know, again, we're talking about the work. You know, this game's all repetition. Repetition of swings, repetition of ground balls. And you can kind of see it, you know, in a play like that about repetition and how to play a ball, you know, where you make it look extremely efficient, you know, instead of when some players would stop, kind of get into their position, try to force the throw. Ethan just kind of went over there with a nice, easy throw, you know, and kind of followed right through that play.
Yep. Knew the timing, knew he had plenty of time to get there.
Yep.
Didn't rush.
Very well. I think I got a smile from his father in that play, too. He's been bailing us out in this tent, by the way. All right, that brings us to the bottom of the 6th inning here.
And, yep, new pitcher coming in here.
New pitcher coming in, number 22.
Looking around, hoping to find a catcher to catch the balls for
I
him.
think the umpire is as well. Yeah, so it looks like, well, I don't think we can go through them, but looks like Taunton has made a whole host of defensive changes here. Actually, it is a new pitcher.
Number 22.
If he is, he's got the same release, about the same velocity as the pitcher before him.
I have Tyler Whalen.
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah, junior. Yep.
The junior.
Yeah, very good. I think everything in the same. His release and everything kind of look the same. So, yeah. So Tyler's, looks like he's
Played 9 games.
he's played 9 games. His record's 3-1. How's his ERA? ERA around 2.67. So another, again, I think what we're seeing here, up 12-0. You know, Taunton, this may be their last game. They just want to get some innings to set them up for the playoffs. But he looks like he's probably one of their starting pitchers. But I'm sure the coach from Taunton just kind of wants to make sure he gets some innings before he sets up, come in and sets himself up for the MIA playoffs. You know, I'd be surprised if this team doesn't go fairly deep if that's their pitching and just kind of looking at some of those stats. Looks like this team could go fairly deep. Not quite sure how they did against Mansfield, but I think maybe they split with Mansfield. But Mansfield's similar team, obviously a lot of depth in pitching.
If Cam Feldman up here to bat.
Cam, another underclassman.
Yep.
I think he played a lot of JV last year.
Yep. He's a
Sophomore, yep. Plays outfield. Plays, again, another player who plays a lot of baseball year-round. Recognizes the importance of that aspect of it and works hard. So it's good to see him up here, and I'm sure we're going to be seeing plenty of him over the next couple of years. Cam's down.
0-2.
Seems it's 0-2.
These
You know,
pitchers are throwing great spots
Bust
out
in,
here.
bust out, bust in, bust out.
You know, hitting a nice low outside strike today.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, bust in, bust out, bust, you know. It's exactly what we just saw. And Connor sees a ball up high. See if Connor can turn on one here.
Line
Looks like
up
they're trying to
outside.
line outside again. And he's sitting 2-0 now, so hopefully he sees he get staring by the pitcher there. Didn't like that call, based on what we could see. A good one to lay off. See him a little quicker there.
Just living outside.
Yeah. Yeah, that was, he called that a call third strike?
He did.
Yeah.
A little low coming across there.
Yeah. I think Mr. Umpire wants to go home.
Justin Garcia here up to bat.
And the thing about, calling strike zones, it's very difficult to do, but all you really want to do is remain consistent, and not taking anything in consideration of the score of the game or anything. It's a tough thing to do, but in fairness to kids, when they're in that box and they're trying to look at things and understand what's going on, they're not thinking score, they're not thinking anything. A nice pitch there.
Yeah, but it is key, consistent.
Just
so I know what to expect.
Yeah, consistent, right. Not saying that we haven't seen consistency today, but it's just, you got a pitcher here who can hit his spots, and we seem to be getting a little bit of a strike zone, a strike zone that may be, a little off the plate, but consistent. So that sets up nice for a kid that can hit his spots well. Yeah.
Oh, little miscommunication there.
Yeah, you could hear the players from the bench yelling that out, that they could see that play setting up. Second baseman, he just needs to call him off directly.
Yep.
But I think you've probably seen some defensive switches here from Taunton.
Colin Thorner here up to bat. Been having a good eye tonight. He's had a couple walks.
Yeah.
There you go. Right down that line.
That brings us to into the 7th inning here. I think Foxborough's made some changes. Yeah, it looks like we got same what we saw last week, last inning, Dave.
Aaron Wentley at third.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ethan Butt at short.
Yeah. So.
So we do a change in left. Looks like Steve Korpak is going into left field.
Thank you. Tough view over here, left field. So.
I apologize if he was up the last inning out there.
Yeah. All right, that brings us to the 7th inning. Expo just looking to kind of get us out of here. 1, 2, 3. Get back in.
Looks like we got the pitcher leading things off here, Tyler Whalen.
Yeah. Well, the one good thing, Dave, is it is a beautiful day here.
It is delightful.
Never realized, but the view from this angle, I mean, look in the woods and the grass and the flagpole and the backside of the school. So,
Nice setup for the video and the angles here also.
yeah. And, you know, we are on like 7th, and, you know, with that being said, we'd like to thank Foxborough Cable Access for, and again, their continued service and everything they do for this community. And, you know, we talk a lot about infrastructure foundations, and they've always been a key critical component of that in this town. So we wouldn't be here without them, that's for sure. I'm not sure who we have in cameras, and we get somebody hiding over there. We might have Paxton Downs on one. Yep, there's Paxton. Okay, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Probably overthrow a little bit there.
Yeah, yeah. He's setting 2-1 right now. And get down here in center field. I think he's tracking. Well, we got a runner at first base. And then we get Zach Bike. Zach Bike. That's a baseball name for you.
Just missed on the outside there.
And 2-0 here. Yeah, looks like he's going to have to grab more of that plate. Look like a similar pitch to what we saw in the last half of the inning. Although he's got the best view in the house. There we go. Let's fight hard back in there. You know, fly ball deep left center. I think that's going to get down. Yeah, it's down to the fence.
Double out of that.
Yeah.
Held them up at third.
Well, you know what? That became the hitter's pitch, right?
Yep.
So, you know, you were 3-1. You didn't get those close pitches there. Setting up 3-0. We fought back. One down really caught the heart of the plate, and it looks like he came back with the same pitch. The batter did a nice job just sitting on it. And
Number 12, Kevin Griffin up here.
yeah, looks like that's going to get down.
Quick throw in.
Yeah.
To the cutoff.
Bats are really coming alive for Taunton.
They are.
Yeah.
First and third here with
Yeah.
no outs.
Yeah. You know, like I think we saw first inning, you know, we were living low and really kind of pounding that low part of the strike zone. I think the last few innings we've been coming up a little bit. Good hitting team. You know, you leave that ball up in the strike zone, obviously, you know, not good things are going to happen, right?
That's a nice spot.
Yeah, the good thing is I'm not quite sure how many errors we have. I think maybe 2. So, you know, really can't write it off to that. I think Taunton's just doing a very good job at, you know, playing a little more situational things and understanding and, you know, capitalizing. And, you know, runners are in scoring position, they're getting them home. So,
Yep, making contact, getting
Yeah.
those singles.
yeah.
Patient at the plate.
Collins setting up 0-2. Trying to nibble that outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We get no outs. Runners at first and third.
Good. Came
Yeah,
back
there
to
we
that
go. See if we
curveball.
can turn a double play here. That's 1. Over the turn to 2. Got him. Yep.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Very nice.
Yeah, nice throw by good around turn, all around good play. Mr. Yeah, Mr. Cronin there at second base had a nice turn. Ball set up nice for him. You know, Ethan's coming across the bag. Good strong throw. Brings up number 9 here.
Max Bowden.
Max. Yeah.
Good low strike.
Yeah. It's okay.
Sure Max doesn't agree.
No. I just missed it with that
Not
one.
going to get 2.
Yeah, ain't gonna get 2 of those, right? See those call for thirds though. Collins really staying low in the low with his pitches here. 1 ball, 2 balls, 1 strike. 3 and 1. I just come right at him right here, right?
Yep.
Yep. So you know what?
Yep.
Attaboy.
Yep.
Nice shot of Maxwell there.
Let's do it again.
Starting to overthrow there a little bit. All right, runners at first. We get 2 outs. We're only going on 2 hours for this game. For the score to be, you know, what it is, really kept the game moving here a little bit. With the late start, obviously, due to the ceremony. To thank Taunton for their understanding of that.
Nice first pitch strike there.
Yep.
Nice to get ahead of the count.
Collins just need to slow things down a little bit, right? Just kind of trying to rush everything through. This is, you know, just you've got to realize that. You know, I think once he slows things down, he's efficient, and he's coming over the top and driving down through it just like that. You know, he's throwing strikes.
Nice balance.
All right, that brings up a new batter, David. New player.
What number do we have up here?
And number 16, yeah.
Nick Pruin. We had him up earlier.
Ah, Nick was up earlier, of course. Yeah.
Throwing nice. First pitch strikes. First and third here with 2 outs.
Yeah, we'll see if Nicky can track that.
That was rope though.
Yeah, it was too. And we're going to play quite a few here. So we got to play a third
he's
here.
trying for
See
third.
if we got him.
Hey, that's bad baseball. Come on, be smarter than that.
I don't think the coach was happy with the advance on that. Yeah, I think maybe he just kind of thought, you know, one thing as a coach, getting your third out at third base does nobody any good.
No.
And I think that's to the coach's point. He's absolutely right. He's like, yeah, okay, get your out at second base, one thing, but to get an out at third base does no one any good, because, you know, you're going to score from a single from second with 2 outs and third. So, you know, I actually like the comment because he's right. You know, and he's trying to get players to understand that there's no reason to advance in that play, Dave.
No,
right?
not at all.
Yeah. You know, there's a saying, never get your third out at third base, right? So,
Exactly.
You know, yeah. It does nobody any good. And I think that's kind of what his point was.
We'll apologize because we don't have number 2 on our list here for the batter.
Yep. All right, well, he plates anyways on the pass ball.
2-1 here.
I think we called that a strike, right?
Yes, we did. 2
Yep,
and 2.
2 and 2. Fly ball out to left field. Think it's Steve tracking. And what happened? I can't see. Ball's down. Yep. Oh, nope,
Yep, he's
catch.
out.
Yep, catch. Not much of a reaction there from the umpire. I couldn't tell. So, all right, that gives its third out. Well, brings us to the bottom half of the 7th. See if Foxborough can get a few kids to the plate here and get some, get a good bats and work on some things that they know they should be working on. So, looks like we get leading off. We got Aaron Wetling, who's come in for third and playing third base. Looks like number 22 is going the distance for him, huh? Rightfully so, one hitter. Not sure what his
It's the second pitcher, right? Then they start off with number
Oh,
19.
yeah, I'm sorry,
Yep.
you're right, yeah.
He's come in closing it, but he's been shutting down here.
Yeah. Yeah, similar pitcher in regards to his delivery, mechanics, very similar. It looks like we've seen a few. Looks like he's got a half decent changeup, and I think he played at it a couple times. So. And he looks like he throws his curveball. So I mean, what we've seen from Taunton is some very efficient pitching, extremely efficient pitching. The pitchers are trying to get up in the counts. I think Foxborough had some good at bats. They took some of those counts pretty high. They worked hard, and that brings up number 7, which is Aaron, right, David?
Yep. Do believe it's Aaron's first at bat tonight.
Aaron, another underclassman, has come on, giving him some innings and pitching. A very bright future here.
There's that nice outside strike he's been throwing all day.
Yep.
Just missed outside a little.
Yep.
Aaron's looking at 2 and 2.
Yeah, 2 and 2 here. You're gonna have to protect that corner. That's where he's going with it again.
And up out there.
Yep.
Oh, took a little bit off that.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, very good cut. Aaron stayed back on that a little bit, kept his hands back, fought it off.
Yep, took a little speed off. He'll probably be coming back with a fastball here. It's line up outside. Looked a little outside there, but
Yeah,
but it's hard to tell from here.
I'm just watching on the replay, and like we said, he's been calling it all game, so you have to understand that, and you got to make adjustments. So.
It's Dan Reed up to bat now.
Take this opportunity to recognize our 2 seniors this year.
Yep.
J.J. Blankhorn and Dougie Fisher. Both have been with the program playing baseball. Their whole right up to the youth leagues, right up through high school. I think
Dan got a hit down there, a little rush coming across.
Yeah, rush coming across. A little collision. Got a pinch runner. Stephen Korpak is coming in for Dan. But getting back to the seniors, yeah. So Dougie will be going off to
Yep, the University of Maine.
University of Maine.
He's studying some
Yep.
civil engineering.
Yep. Taking after his dad.
Yep. Up in the cold,
Yeah,
cold
yeah.
weather up north, and
Yeah.
JJ is going to be going to, I believe, Wentworth,
Awesome.
studying electrical engineering.
Fantastic.
Actually, and he's
sure
going to the
that's
school that
Near
is-
and dear to his dad's heart.
Yep, and
Absolutely.
his dad's
Yeah.
Wentworth grad too. So.
Yep. Absolutely. And again, you know, 2 great kids. Stayed with the program right up through. Wish them nothing but the best of luck. And I know Dougie's had a lot of injuries and kind of fought through that, so you know, it's wonderful to see him kind of fight back this year and what he did at the plate. Kind of helping lead the team. And JJ, you know, coming through, playing some good defense out there at, you know, shortstop, and again, just, you know, just staying with a game that they love, right? So
Exactly.
that's a great thing.
We'll keep fighting back. Been a challenging year, but they've all been working hard, keeping together as a team, and
Yeah.
keep working hard.
Fly ball out to the, looked like the shortstop came in to make that play. No, third baseman tracked it. We got a whole plethora of changes out there, so
I
we've
know.
lost track of who's playing what position. So that gets us 2 outs, and now brings up Nikki.
And that was AJ.
Yeah, that was
Carlos up
AJ.
there.
I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry about
Sorry.
that, AJ. Yeah. There we go. That should
Nice
be
level
trouble.
swing.
Yep.
Gonna send him home. Nope.
Yeah, it was a good call.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, wasn't really deep enough. I think that just brings our second hit of the game. And 2 outs, runners at the corners.
Coming up to bat is
Yeah.
Ethan Butt.
Yeah. I think it's getting tough now here without this weather. Is this pollen? That's Ethan at bat. Ethan, a junior. Can be back next year.
Oh, nice swing by
beautiful.
Ethan.
Yeah, nice.
Beautiful
Yeah.
bat. Jumped on that first pitch fastball.
Oh, boy. Yeah, you know, just all-around hustle plays everywhere.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, the field's in great shape today, too. Got to add some compliments here today for the field prep. They did do some watering down and stuff. We're not getting dust flying around.
Yeah, and the great thing, they get plenty of water on the field, and you know the field's going to get some more rest over the summer. Should be back in great shape for next year.
Oh, another nice first pitch swing.
Yeah,
Saw the fastball first pitch and jumping right on it.
the boys are fighting hard.
Yep, not giving up here.
Nope,
Starting to swing a lot smarter
There's
here now,
Cam.
jumping on it.
with Kim with the single.
Yep, Cam Feldman up
Yeah.
there. Nice aggressive first swing. Get the bat on the ball.
Yeah. And like we were talking about it coming in, it's just, you know, it's all about fighting hard and just continuing to you know, to just get good at bats and work on those things you need to work on, and that's all you want to see. That's all you want to see. That brings up Connor.
Swinging at the
Oh,
first pitch
yep.
fastballs.
And the play short to first, to the third out of the game. And that's the ball game. So final score, it was Foxborough 3, Taunton 18. And obviously not what you want to see on a day like today, but you know, you got to look at the small victories and the fact that, you know, kids kind of, you know, get some other kids in there and get some good at bats, and they fought hard, and you know, they played a 3 at the end there, which is a great thing. So that's what you want to see.
Played a very good team
yeah.
out here, so
Yeah, a very good team. You know, like we said, Taunton's probably one of the better teams in the Hockomock. They'll go pretty far. So all around, you know, from Foxborough's perspective, I think, you know, we talked a lot about youth in this your program right now, the pitching in the program right now. You know, we'd like to thank JJ and Dougie for all their, you know, years and tenure, and you know, and it's great for them, and wish them nothing but success in the future. And you know, I kind of like what I see, and the reason being is, you know, it's just you're seeing some kids. You're seeing some pitch in there. You're seeing where some defensive play can come into play. Actually seeing some half decent at bats. So I think, Dave, that the future's looking bright. I think next year I would look for good things from this team. I think they can put some things together and get some injuries behind them, and I think go from there.
Yep,
So,
and I think they're in a good position for the next couple of years here to really, expand this program.
Absolutely.
It's good things for them all.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, my name's Jeff Downs, and on behalf of myself and Dave Fisher, I'd like to thank you and hope you enjoyed this wonderful day of baseball here and the wonderful ceremony we've had. And I'd like to thank our producers and directors and Foxborough Cable Access, of course. And we'll look forward to maybe doing this again. Maybe you can come down and do that. You got softball, so maybe you can do this again next year. So
Great. Sounds good.
all right, with that, we're signing off, and thank you, everybody, and have a great day.